Let's be honest, life is chaotic. One minute things are fine, the next you've got a crisis at work, a fight with your partner, or just that constant nagging pressure about the future. Most people get tossed around by these storms, their peace of mind completely shattered. But what if you could build a kind of mental armor that made you practically immune to stress? What if you could face any challenge with a calm, unbreakable strength? The ancient Stoics figured out how. And no, it doesn't mean living a life of hardship and misery. It just takes a few powerful shifts in your mindset. So today, we're breaking down 5 simple yet profound Stoic habits you can start right now to conquer anxiety and become truly unbreakable in 2026. These aren't just dusty philosophical ideas. They are practical, daily exercises for your mind. Think of it as a training regimen for your soul, designed to forge resilience, clarity, and an inner peace that no external event can touch. The world in 2026 will be just as unpredictable as it is today, full of distractions, demands, and difficulties. The secret isn't changing the world, it's changing how you meet it. The Stoics, guys like the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, the playwright and political advisor Seneca, and the former slave-turned-philosopher Epictetus, weren't just thinkers. They were doers who lived through plagues, political exile, and incredible personal hardship. Their wisdom wasn't theoretical, it was forged in the fires of real life. Let's get into the habits that gave them their strength. First up is the foundation of all Stoic thought, mastering what they called the dichotomy of control. It's a simple but life-altering habit of separating what's in your power from what's not. Here's the problem. We waste a colossal amount of energy. We spend our days stressing about things we have zero influence over. We get furious at the traffic jam making us late. We lose sleep over a coworker's passive-aggressive email. We obsess over the stock market, politics, or whether someone liked our latest post. This constant worry is a self-imposed prison. We're fighting battles we can never win because they aren't even our battles to fight. The solution is to start every day with a mental sorting exercise. Of all the things on your mind, ask yourself, which of these are actually up to me? Epictetus put it bluntly, some things are up to us and some are not. Up to us are our opinions, our motivations, our desires, basically our own actions. Not up to us are our bodies, our property, our reputations, or what other people do. Your power lives in a very specific place, your thoughts, your judgments, and your actions. That's it, everything else. The outcome of your hard work, what other people think of you, your health, your wealth, has some external factor, meaning it's not entirely in your control. The unbreakable mind focuses all its power on its own turf and practices acceptance for everything else. Think of an archer. The archer controls the tension of the bow, the steadiness of their hand, and the moment they let the arrow fly. They can practice for thousands of hours to perfect their form. That's their domain. But once the arrow is released, they can't control a sudden gust of wind that blows it off course. The Stoic archer doesn't curse the wind. They focus only on perfecting their shot and accept the outcome, whatever it may be. In 2026, you'll face endless external pressures. You can't control if you get that promotion, but you can control the quality of your work and your own integrity. You can't control how someone else feels or reacts, but you can control your own patience and kindness. The next time you feel that familiar knot of anxiety, just pause and ask, is this in my control? If the answer is no, your job is to let it go. If the answer is yes, your job is to act. This one habit, practiced daily, is the first step to building your inner fortress. This second habit sounds a little morbid, I'll admit, but it's one of the most powerful tools for building psychological resilience. Premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of bad stuff. We all live with a constant low-grade fear of the future, haunted by the what-ifs. What if I lose my job? What if I get sick? What if this relationship fails? This vague, undefined dread doesn't actually prepare us. It just makes us fragile and anxious. We're so scared of what might happen that we forget to enjoy all the good things happening right now. The solution is to deliberately, and in a calm way, Visualize the very things you're afraid of. Spend a few minutes in the morning imagining that you've lost the things you value. Picture your career hitting a wall. Imagine your savings have disappeared. Seneca, one of the wealthiest men in Rome, would practice this by periodically living as if he were poor, eating simple food, wearing old clothes, sleeping on the floor. He wasn't trying to make himself miserable, he was training. This does two critical things. First, it's like a vaccine against panic. As Seneca said, what is completely unexpected is more crushing in its effect. By mentally rehearsing adversity, you strip it of its shock value. You've already been there in your mind. You can start thinking logically about how you'd actually handle it. If you lost your job, what would be your first steps? Who would you call? Fear thrives in uncertainty. A plan starves it. Second, and maybe more importantly, visualizing loss makes you incredibly grateful for what you have. When you take a moment to truly imagine life without your loved ones, your health, or your home, you return to the present with a renewed, vibrant appreciation. The things you took for granted suddenly feel like the incredible gifts they are. That morning, coffee, a simple conversation, the act of breathing, it all becomes a source of joy. This isn't pessimism, it's strategic preparation. The pessimist says, everything is going to go wrong. The Stoic says, things might go wrong, so I will prepare my mind and appreciate what's right. Setbacks in 2026 aren't a possibility, they're a certainty. By practicing premeditatio malorum, you won't be surprised or broken by them. You'll meet them with the calm confidence of someone who is ready. The third habit is probably the biggest challenge, but it holds the key to turning pain into power. It's the principle of amor fatis, a love of your fate. Our default response to things going wrong is to fight back. When we get rejected, betrayed, or we fail at something, our first instinct is to scream, "This shouldn't be happening." We complain, we get bitter, we wish we could turn back time. This resistance, this battle against a reality that has already happened, is the real source of our suffering. The event itself is just an event. It's our judgment that it's bad that creates the pain. The solution is to move beyond just accepting things and to actively embrace everything that happens as if you chose it. Amor fatis isn't just gritting your teeth and saying, "I guess I have to put up with this." It's an enthusiastic acceptance that says, "This is part of my path. This obstacle is my fuel." It's the belief that whatever happens, good, bad, or ugly, is a necessary part of your journey. Marcus Aurelius nailed this idea when he wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." For a Stoic, a roadblock isn't the end of the road, it's a detour that holds a unique lesson. A difficult boss is a chance to practice patience. A financial loss is a chance to learn resilience. A painful injury is a chance to cultivate mental strength. When you get passed over for that promotion in 2026, instead of sinking into bitterness, you ask, "What does this make possible? Does this give me time to develop a new skill? Is it a sign I should look for a new path?" When a big plan falls apart, you don't see it as a failure, but as fate clearing the way for something else. This mindset is the ultimate inner citadel, a fortified mind that can't be touched by external events. If you can learn to love whatever happens, then nothing can truly harm you. You become invincible, not because you avoid hardship, but because you use hardship as the raw material to grow. You stop being a victim of your life story and become its author. Every twist, every turn is just another sentence in the masterpiece you're writing. Don't just put up with your fate, love it. This fourth habit is a simple, private ritual that can turn your days from a series of random reactions into a deliberate process of self-improvement. It's the evening review. The problem is, most of us live on autopilot. We wake up, get swept away by the day, and fall into bed only to do it all over again. We make the same mistakes, fall for the same emotional traps, and give in to the same bad habits day after day. Why? Because we rarely pause to learn from our own experiences. We're trying to navigate life without a map, wondering why we keep getting lost. The solution comes from Seneca. Before you go to sleep, set aside 10-15 minutes to conduct an honest review of your day. You can journal or just think quietly. The goal isn't to beat yourself up, but to analyze your performance like a coach reviewing game tape. Seneca would ask himself 3 questions. 1. What did I do wrong today? 2. What did I do right? 3. What could I do differently tomorrow? What did I do wrong is about accountability. Where did I act out of anger or fear? Did I lose my temper? Was I unkind? Did I waste time on nonsense? Acknowledging these moments without shame is the first step to fixing them. What did I do right is just as important. This is about reinforcing the good stuff. Did I stay calm when provoked? Did I act with courage? Was I generous or honest? By recognizing these moments, you're strengthening the person you want to become. Finally, what could I do differently tomorrow? Turns reflection into a concrete plan. If you notice you were impatient today, your plan for tomorrow might be to consciously take a deep breath before responding in a similar situation. This daily habit makes you an active architect of your own character. It closes the gap between the person you want to be and the person you are. It ensures that each day you get a little bit better. In 2026, when life is moving faster than ever, this deliberate pause will be your anchor, making sure you're the one steering the ship. Our final habit is the most profound and, in a strange way, the most energizing. It is the practice of memento mori. Remember, you will die. Stick with me here. The problem is that we all live under the delusion that we have infinite time. We act like our days are limitless. We put off important conversations, delay our true passions, hold on to petty grudges, and waste precious moments on trivial things. We live as if we're immortal, and by doing so, we forget to actually live. The solution is to use the thought of death not as a source of fear, but as a tool for focus and purpose. Reminding yourself that your time is finite is the ultimate cure for triviality. It forces you to ask the big questions. Am I living a life that's true to me? Am I spending my time on things that actually matter? Marcus Aurelius wrote about this constantly. He said, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." This isn't morbid, it's liberating. It's liberating. It cuts through the noise and shows you what's essential. When you look at your life through the lens of your own mortality, the opinions of strangers on the internet suddenly don't matter so much. The fear of asking for a raise seems insignificant compared to the regret of never trying. The anger you feel over some small slight just dissolves. To practice this, you don't have to dwell on death. Just integrate small reminders. Keep a coin or a small object on your desk to represent it. When you face a decision, big or small, ask yourself, if this were my last week on earth, is this how I would spend my time? Practicing memento mori fills your life with urgency and gratitude. It pushes you to forgive more easily, love more deeply, and act more boldly. By remembering death, you learn how to live. You stop sleepwalking through your days and start living them with intention and joy. It's the final key to becoming unbreakable because it connects you to how precious and beautiful life is. These 5 habits: mastering your control, preparing for adversity, loving your fate, reviewing your day, and remembering your mortality, aren't a checklist you finish once. They are a lifelong practice. They're the pillars you use to build what the Stoics called the inner citadel, a fortress in your mind that is calm, resilient, and untouchable by the chaos of the outside world. Becoming unbreakable doesn't mean you won't feel pain or fear. It means those feelings will no longer have power over you. The storms will come in 2026, just as they always do. But with these habits, you won't just endure them. You'll stand firm, strong, and centered, not as a victim of your fate, but as the master of your mind. If this video resonated with you, give it a like to help others find it. Subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss our next video. And drop a comment below. Which of these 5 habits are you going to try first? I read every single one.